Hi, this is Mark from Altcoin Buzz. Today we're going to take a look at all three of the big ones, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, because there's not a whole lot going on with Bitcoin today. So we'll just take a brief look at each one and then wrap things up. Before we get started, I do want to mention that I found a site that I can now do traditional TA, much like this, on the small cap coins. So if there is a small cap coin that you'd like us to look at from a technical analysis standpoint, please make a comment below. And on slow days like we've been having over the last couple of weeks, I can start interjecting in some of those smaller cap coins just to take a quick look at them. And then one final thing as we go through the TA, just something to keep in mind, because I see a lot of comments about TA that are along the negative side of not being able to predict price. And I just want to clarify that it's not necessarily the way that I use TA to predict a price. It's to give me a strategy for my trading so that because I'm a swing trader, I'm not looking for the absolute low, I'm not looking for the absolute high. What I'm looking for are signals for when I feel comfortable getting in for those big swings up, or when I feel like I should be getting out on the potential big swings down. I'm not day trading. It slows the picture down for me. And that way I don't have to be glued to my screen every single minute of the day. Now, oftentimes I'll bring up prices as a potential range, or at least some things that we want to look at. But those are usually price ranges, and they're usually based upon support and resistance areas, which if you don't believe in TA, you can argue against, but they tend to hold up. So that being said, let's get into looking at the coins. So here we are on the Litecoin USD 1-day chart, and you'll see the same similar kind of setup on Ethereum. We've got this tight trading channel going on in here with what looks like what we found to be our bottom, a small double bottom here. The momentum indicators are showing that the negative momentum is starting to slow down. So we could have a little bit of a reversal here, and we'll probably end up testing either this resistance area right in here around 63, 64 by the time it hits that resistance trend line. And then if we just go out the horizontal resistance, we're looking at a test of about $75. So now let's take a look at Ethereum. You can see basically the same setup, potentially double bottom here, our trading range that we're in right now. So our first level to test is going to be right in this area at about 320. And then from there, we'll be looking to test this resistance over here at 375, and then the next one at 411, 410, 411. Okay, and now Bitcoin on the USD 1-day chart. Not much has changed from what we looked at last night, right? So basically flat over the last couple of days. I did want to address the descending wedge that we came into that some people asked about, which is this wedge here that we talked about last night. If we take out this news that came from the ETF last month, basically took it as even, then this would be the path that we potentially would have followed on. And what I said was we need to be conscious of this, because as we go into a wedge like this on a downward trend, then the potential for continuing that trend is greater. Okay, so another thing that people have asked about is, what about the short squeeze? And we do have a spike, a very high spike, one of the highest it's been in shorts. And there is that potential. If you want to see some manipulation in this market, it'll be quite evident, because as I see it, there's no reason for the shorts to close out right now. And I would believe that that liquidation area, or where shorts would start manually closing, would be at this resistance level here potentially, but certainly up into this range, we could get some liquidation. So you want to see some manipulation going on. Watch and see if we get a big candle or even a wick to try and start closing out some of those shorts. That'll be very interesting. And if we do that, be very careful about getting caught in that trap. One last question that was asked that I just want to illustrate was, how does that spring look? And let's just take a look at that. This pattern starting back in here out to here. Okay, let's just copy that pattern. So if we just line this up a little bit, it's it's pretty close. We're not going to follow the exact same pattern, right? But if we just took a dip down into our previous lows like we had before, maybe even a little bit lower than that, hopefully not, but in somewhere in that range, and then come back up and test the support level for a shot up, that's what the spring would look like. If we don't spring back off of those lows, then in that area, then we're not going to validate a spring. So the other thing we're going to be looking at on the price action here in the next couple of days is the ProShares ETF decision. And I want to thank GFerg for pointing out that I had mentioned that they may delay it just like they did Sonic X. However, this is the final, GFerg pointed out correctly so, that this is the actual final decision that has to be made. So given the fact that they did not approve, or that they postponed the Sonic X ETF, I can see them flat out denying this ProShares ETF on the 20th. 23rd. But in either case, I think it's going to have some impact on the price. So we need to be conscious of that as we get into the news in the next couple days on the 23rd. So hopefully that helps. And also for those people that talk about market manipulation and how TA can't work with manipulation in the market, I've left a good link below on an article that explains how that manipulation is factored into a lot of charting. So I think it's a good read if you want to take a look at it. Otherwise, follow us on Altcoin Buzz.io, where we got all kinds of articles being posted up there all the time by some great and talented people. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you know when the alerts come up when we've done these videos. And also, please leave your comments below. Hit that like button. And until next time, may all your trades be good ones.